Oh, so warm. Lovely to see you guys. Poor old Boris. He's just been getting it. Let's wait for a few of you lovelies to jump on. Oh, we're going to talk about this again as well. I did this a few weeks ago. This is by Dr. John Lee, former consultant, pathologist for the NHS Trust in Hull. All right. Some encouraging news. A friend of mine's been out and about with her daughter today on the buses and in shops down in the southeast London outskirts, Bromley, Bexley, that kind of way. And she's not worn a mask, and she only got someone said to her, "Here, where's the mask?" Quite a big girl, bless her. And she said, "Oh, do you wear one?" She said, "Oh, you've got to be careful of them. They're really bad for you." And she had the girl listening. The girl was like, "Oh." She said she see a little old dear from Deptford that had gone down to a bit shopping where she lives. And she didn't have a mask on. She said, "Well done, love, for not wearing these masks." She went, "I did wear them, but they made me feel sick and dizzy and nauseous." She said, "I can't be doing it no more." I think it's a bit of a con. Fair play. People are getting it now. Welcome, people. Lovely to see you. D. Allen. Hello, Dar. I've just been on Boris, bless him. Look, he's I'll give him a right old workout a day. Jacqueline Jones. How are we, doll? Lukey Allen. All right, gorgeous. Jesus Jones. Love you as always. My top moderator is keeping everyone in check in the rooms. He'll whip you into shape. But you've got to be rude to do that. So it's called. This is taken from a thing called The Spectator, and it's End the Lockdown Now, and it's by Dr. John Lee, former consultant and pathologist. I think pathology is blood, isn't it? Luke Allen. Hello, D. Ooh, hello. How are you guys and girls? Lovely to see you. It's quite encouraging at the moment. We're seeing a lot of stuff going on social media. There's a guy I like called AB, and he's got a site called Auditing Britain. AB, right? Now, there's a lot of coppers that when he's going around now filming their bases, they know he is. They're like, "I've seen you on your live stream." It's good. Beautiful. It's interaction. It needs to be done. It's fantastic. And what makes me laugh is all the police. You can't film around. It's private property. When did that happen? I thought it was the people's. I thought the people owned it. Are you seeing the swindle now? What's happened? Research Charlie Ward. Yeah. I watched Charlie Ward last night, funnily enough. Kenneth, lovely to see you, dog. I reckon we're going to have a rainstorm tonight. It's been so hot, hasn't it? And oh my good, I've only put a top on to come on here, otherwise I wouldn't bother. That's why my arm ain't straight. Look, oh dear. Zevi Zircon, all right, Gorge. I'm getting there. Look, the old muscles are starting to come now. Yeah, I've been working out. I said this lockdown, I've been trying to get really fit. Really, look, I can just, oh yeah, see the little veins are coming up now. I'm loving it. I'm really getting quite fit. Not bad for 53. Look, see that vein? Look, see it? Can you see it? Yeah. I'm not doing it for vanity. It's just I'm getting older now. I need to look after my body. Charlie Ward, I watched Charlie Ward last night with Sasha Stone. Sasha Stone puts his neck on the line on the choppy blocks. 53, yeah, 53 September next month. Can you believe it? Oh my God, 14th, I'll be 53. Well, allegedly, my mum and dad were liars. They told me that the Tooth Fairy and Santa was real. Can you imagine my amazement? When I was about 6 or 7, I worked out that weren't quite true. I always looked at my mum and dad and thought, "You've lied to me all my life." Yeah, only teasing. I love them to pieces. So, I'm going to pick some nuts and bolts out of this. This is a guy called Dr. John Lee. We're loving Dr. Vernon Coleman as well right now. He seems to be on the ball. The Spectator, this is taken from a thing called The Spectator in the lockdown now. Right in this magazine a month ago, I applauded the government's stated aim for trying to follow a science dealing with COVID. Such promises are really easier made than kept. Now, I'm hearing now that you can. My golf club has sent me an email today saying, as of such and such a date, you must wear masks in the pro shop and in the bar, but you can take them off for eating and drinking. Ain't we fucking lucky? So this is a clever virus. Oh, it's so clever, because it certainly ain't going to leap on you when you're eating and drinking. what's all this face covering about? Have we gone to that submission religion? What is going on? Someone tell me what's going on. So I sent them a very swift email back saying, I won't be wearing a mask. I'll take my business elsewhere. Thank you kindly. It's the only way you get through to these people. I haven't had a reply yet. So yeah, I applaud the government's stated aim for trying to follow the science. So you got, if you're going to implement that, it's got to be kind of a science behind it, a reason. You know what I mean? Something's happened. Like 1 million people have died, so it's a bit tasty. We've got to sort this out, but we ain't seeing it, are we? Such promises are easier made than kept. Following science means understanding science. It means engaging with rival interpretations of the limited data in order to tease out what is most important in what we don't know. Instead, the government in the UK and many other places seem uninterested in alternative viewpoints. The chosen narrative that lockdown has saved countless lives. Well, has it? I'm not sure it has. It's ruined a lot of lives. My good God. The kids that have probably died, the elderly that have probably died of cancer in care homes, been topped off. We know that there's over 20,000 more elderly people have passed away this year than the national average. So they're topping them off. I'm sorry to tell you, I love pissing on your cornflakes, but this is the truth news. If you want fluffy dogs, cute pussycats, darning patterns, and how to keep your veg patch, wrong channel. It has now become a matter of faith that lockdown is vital. So we've got to believe in it. Not only is it believed to be causally responsible for flattening the curve, but it's feared that releasing it too soon could cause a second spike in cases. Now, why? Oh, Boris behind me is expecting a second wave, a second curve, a second. How are they so confidently talking about this stuff? They must know something we don't know, right? You would only predict or make predictions because, look, they're not Septic Peg, they're not Mystic Meg, they don't have crystal balls, these people. But when they're confidently saying, oh, by the time October comes, there's going to be a second wave. Well, how can you be so confident? Surely you don't know, right? Because you're being reactive. When a virus comes along that's a killer, you have to be reactive, not proactive. You can't determine what's coming, can you? Do you know? Am I reading it wrong? I should have been a detective. Let me tell you, I'd have solved many a crime. Ian Dickens, hello, gorgeous, lovely to see you. Ian, can I ask you, kind sir, is this your first time gracing me with your blessings? If it is, consider hitting the bell button, subscribing, and doing all that lovely stuff down the bottom. Maybe give me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. If you give me them thumbs ups, it gets the videos out a little bit more. You know, I'm growing this channel slowly, but I want that. I don't come on here. So, you know, someone said, how to make YouTube channels, get people's attention. You have to grab, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want to talk normal. I want to be normal with my family that come and visit me and we talk about this stuff. I'm not interested in being something that I'm not. Does that make sense? Kenneth Noran Curran, what will we find regarding Charlie Wall? Charlie's, I think he's a Londoner, and he's not. He's got a brizzle twist. Anyway, so moving swiftly on, he makes some good points here. He says you cannot. I'm just going to highlight the points. You can't understand the significance of this virus simply by looking at the raw death figures. Now we know, right? We're pretty confident that these figures are being fudged, right? Yeah, because if you fell out of an aeroplane today without a parachute and you hit the deck, you'd have died of COVID. Let me tell you. If you're in a wheelchair and you've gone out for a nice day out down Dover cliffs, the cliffs of Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover, and there's a little incline when you get up the top there, and if your carer or your mum who's in your wheelchair didn't put your handbrake on, there's a slim chance you could go flying off down the edge of the White Cliffs of Dover, land on all the boats that are coming in right now, maybe do us all a favour, maybe sink a few, who knows? And they'll be scraping you off the beach, and he's died of COVID. My mate got stuck with a sword a little while ago, a couple of months ago, and as he's bleeding out on the floor, my mate said, he says, I think you've got COVID. He said, no, I think it's where you've just stabbed me. He said, I think the losing of the blood's making you delirious. He said, you've definitely got COVID. Everyone's got COVID. Cancer patients, whether you've got TB, tuberculosis, whether you've got syphilis or gonorrhea, whatever, you got COVID, you got the juice, you got the COVID-19, baby. Let me tell you. OOLPO, Alopo. That is it, Alopo, isn't it? No, Dave, I've already been broken in. Oh, you sauce monkey. Ian's been. Oh, I tell you, it's a good. Did it feel good for you, eh? Did it feel good? So the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not here to be glossy. I'm not here to be like Trevor McDonald off News at 10s or Angela Ripoff and all that. That's not me. I talk, and I come in here sometimes. I've been working. I'm sweating. It don't matter. Do you know? It's Dave. It's Dave. Dave's in. Yeah, I know. So I know. I remember. I'm not that silly. I'm like a goldfish. I go around in a bar. I've got like a 30-second memory. So you simply can't understand the significance of the virus by looking at the raw death figures. Broadcasting media is relentlessly focused on the number of deaths and emotional stories surrounding victims. There you go. That's what's caused all this. You've got to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. Put a fucking mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I'm going to scratch your eyes out. And then you look down at their queue and you see them. Can I have 20 fags, mate? Yeah. Take me mask up on that one. Yeah. And you go into the supermarket. Got a mask? No. Look down. No, you should wear a mask. Look at their finger. They've got pizzas, Coca-Cola, burger. You think, Christ, you're looking after your help. Love, you walked straight past the green section, did you, with the tomatoes and all that in it? What's that we are? But they're all out there, aren't they? The old mask warriors. The old mask warriors, they're out there. They can't wait to get a bit of you. Put your mask on. But I see something the other day in Madrid or some part of Spain. They're saying that the coronavirus mask wearing stuff is going to be until 2022. So you've got another 2 years of work. I want to know how you're all going to be feeling in a couple of years' time when you're all still wearing these face nappies, all right? Needless to say, there's a lot of people out there that are not being very careful with where they're putting their masks, all right? Now, you would have thought that a forward-thinking government really worried about a epidemic would go, cancels. We need bins, biohazard bins. They need to be clearly identified. They need to be screaming on a street corner, just like Julian Clary. Pink as you like, bio bin, whack it in here. But oh no biohazard bins. All of these things are ending up in the ocean as well. The gloves, the masks. We're having turtles flying around with these masks on their face. And, you know, who's to say where they're going to end up? In the guts of a shark or the guts of a dolphin? We are, I tell you what, as thick as pig shit. We really are. But anyway, that's the thing. There's no biohazard bins. There's no accountability for these masks, and people are throwing them away indiscriminately. That's going to cause more problems than this pandemic in the first place, surely. No? Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying your lockdown. Your furloughs all going to be stopping soon, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to tell you that your furlough payments are all going to be ceasing in the next very swiftly. And everyone that's been having a lovely time is all of a sudden going to be going, things a little bit tight here, darling. Boss says got no work for us. There's no work out there. I hope you're paying attention. I really do. Grandson of the Rothschilds, Ian Dickens. I'm not wearing a mask, and their mask wearers are laughing at me. They are spineless but stick together to feel safe. There you go. Their vaccines are on the way. I'm telling you what, right? If you survive all of this without wearing a mask and standing and poking your chest out and putting your boobs out for the girls, sometimes for me, actually, I'm losing mine because I'm working out. I was very fond of my moves, but I'm glad to say they're starting to go. I'm starting to tighten up. I'm doing some chest reps and stuff. I'm getting kind of sexy. So if you can withstand all of what's coming, let me tell you, fair play to you. It's unbelievable. Hello, Dr. Dawson. Nice to see you. Raj Barley. Hello, darling. How are you? Hi, Dave. How's it going? It's all right, Raj. You know, we're living the dream. Yeah. Dave Alopo Dave says that's exactly where the tyranny ends a furlough. Oh, mate, trust me. When that furlough ending comes and everyone who's just bought their French poodles and their French bulldogs and their Rottweilers all of a sudden got no work to go back to. Whew, let me tell you. Can I please buy your man bras? Yeah, I'll send them up to you in the post. Send me an address. I won't wash them either. Keep the scent on there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's disgusting, Dave. So, yeah. You can't understand the significance of the virus simply by looking at the raw death figures. Number two, the policy response to the virus has been driven by modelling of the COVID, not any other factors. Not only has such modelling been extravagantly wrong before in predicting the course of viral epidemics, but it says nothing about anything else. In this case, it has been bedeviled from the start by poor data and flawed assumptions. Boom. Number 3, we don't know if lockdown is working. There's countries around the world that haven't gone into this lockdown. Oh, by the way, Lebanon, their government's just all retired. Their government, due to protesting, I don't know, there's a bomb or a massive fire gone off in Lebanon. Their government, all of them have stepped down. I just pray. I hope and pray that we can get that in this country, right? There's so much going on at the moment. There's bombs, there's fires, massive buildings going over it. Me personally, I think the deep state cabal are in problems. Why? Richard Branson's Virgin has just gone into receivership. Now, you got no understanding how much all these massive big corporations keep running all the money. So now what they're doing is a lot of these places catching fire and they're hoping for the insurance payouts. You know that, don't you? Wicked world. Auntie Mandy, we just need to scrap the bill and move into Jassara. Absolutely right. Look at Sweden. They're laughing at us. They are. Claire Johnson, mate, you ain't too far wrong there. They are proper laughing at us. So we don't know if lockdown's working. We should ease the lockdown to save lives. The economic and direct health costs of lockdown are enormous, right? Lockdown has caused huge disruptions to healthcare of conditions other than the vid juice, which is having significant immediate effects and will always have signified delayed effects, right? Because we're not really seeing the delayed effects yet, are we? But apart from this economic downturn and as a direct cause of ill health, one way to try and measure health intervention is by using a quality of life years, right? So your quality of life means something, right? And you ain't got a quality of life right now. Yeah, you should sue the government for loss of liberty, deprivation of rights. There is a Deprivation of Rights Act of Parliament. Listen, the acts of parliaments don't apply to you because you're private people, right? You're creations of the divine. But what they apply to is the corporations which the government created, which you've been falsely identifying with, which is the birth certificates, right? So they're bound by statute. So the deprivation of rights, deprivation of liberty, you want to look into this stuff. That's what they're doing. They're depriving you of your natural rights. They've got no right to do that. Lockdown is not sustainable, okay? Unless we're going to live this way forever, lockdown will never be eased. Pandora's box is open. No one thinks that this virus will be eradicated. It will present within the population and will spread in its own way. Trust me, lockdown is not sustainable. It isn't. It really, really isn't sustainable. And yet all the migrants are coming in off the Kent coast. None of them are vetted. We don't know these people. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know what their intent is. We see a woman give birth the other day. She landed on the beach. It was like a beach invasion. It was like D-Day. And she's got off. Oh, she went, I think she had a cod liver oil tablet before she got on that boat and come across the channel. And Bob's around, well, she's give birth on the beach. How's about that? What if the seagulls run off with the afterbirth? That was a bit too much, wasn't it? The health service has not been overwhelmed nor likely to be. Now, he's making a really, really valid point here. The models have nothing to say about how quickly our health service could adapt to a new disease, right? How quickly did they adapt? They adapted so quick. All the shopping centres adapted, the police adapted, the whole councils adapted, all of the system through common purpose, all reacted and sorted their lives out. Bang, bang, bang. It was like a military operation, the way that they all locked down and got on with their stuff. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone just pulled up on my gate. I don't know who it is. It could be Tia. Yeah, she's coming over. And come horse riding. What's Tia doing? She climb over if she has to. That is, hang on. I'm just. Here she comes. She's climbing the gate. She only weighs about fag paper. She's grabbed what she's gone. Right, so the health service has not been overwhelmed nor likely to be. What a valid point. Bearing in mind, this is written by a health professional. This is written by Dr. John. He ain't no schmuck. He ain't no tinfoil hat wearer. Yeah. Dr. John Lee, former consultant pathologist for the NHS Trust, making a very valid point. The health service has not been overwhelmed nor likely to be. Perfect. Point 9, the virus is almost certainly not a constant threat. It's not a constant threat. It's far from a constant threat. Let me tell you. I'm just trying. I don't know, this all this else actually still there. I don't know if they want me. Are they going? What are they doing? Oh, she's coming in. So it's not a constant threat. An evolutionary view suggests that the virus is likely to change quickly, with less virulent forms becoming dominant. Lockdown could potentially slow this beneficial tendency. On this view, asymptomatic people spreading the virus is a good thing because it means that the disease becomes milder more quickly. They talk about this thing called herd mentality, but as far as I know, I didn't grow up in a field mooing. People can be trusted to behave sensibly. Now, how's about that? 6 weeks of lockdown have clearly, he wrote this quite a while ago. 6 weeks of lockdown have clearly demonstrated that the British people are grown-ups and can be trusted with making sensible decisions about their health. I'm not unreasonable, is it? Is it unreasonable to suggest that some of us, or most of us, are pretty capable of looking after our own health? Yes? But no, we're children. You will wear a face napping. Everyone just, I'm wearing a face napping. Look, they're a fashion statement now. Girls go out in a nice polka dot dress on, Bob's your uncle. They've got a polka dot mask on. It's like they're matching them up to match their cuffs and collars. I don't know. I've seen more girls wearing these masks. They're more on their face than they've got on the rest of their body. It don't make sense to me. And bearing in mind these total conditions we've got at the moment, the sun is scorching. Can you just imagine what you're doing? You know, on a really hot day, your breast laboured, right? It's like, yeah, that's how we are. I've been like it today. I've got my fan on in the background. You can't see my fan. There you can. I've got the fan. It's cooling the studio down. Look, looks like we're on takeoff. Yeah, I've had the fan on. You get laboured. So today, wearing one of their masks, I can't imagine the amount of people that have passed that out there today. Look, masks ain't saving you. You are going to save you. The way you approach your health, the way you approach your water, the way you approach your food, the way you approach your vitamins, the way you approach your living standards, whether you're working out or not, and doing stuff to keep your body in shape. That's what's going to save you. Growing your own food if you can. That's what's going to save you. All right? Eating proper food, juicing, And when I was a kid, I had fevers, measles, mumps, you name it. There weren't much I didn't have. Chicken pox, we had the lot. But what mum used to do was just keep an eye on me and watch my temperature and let it bang on. Just let it burn itself out. Because what it does, it builds your immunity. It builds your immunity. And I'm going to prove a point with that. My neighbour, who's 85, one of the strongest men I've ever met. He's got hands like shovels. He's a farmer, right? If he put his hand around mine and squeezed it, he could crush it. I'm pretty sure he's so strong, even at his age. When he was 4, he contracted meningitis. And he was in hospital in a coma for a long time. And when he come out, his mum gave him nothing but eggs, just loads and loads and loads of eggs. And he told me once that she wrapped his head up in vinegar and brown paper. And I went, what's your name? Humpty Dumpty. He went, promise you, it took the swelling down. He's left his body now to medical science. And he asked me to be a witness for this so that he could have this card. And anyway, it's a bit whatever. I don't like talking about it, so I don't want him to go anywhere because I love him to pieces. But the point is this. He said, I want them, Dave, to find out what is in me that's given me such a strong immunity after I had meningitis. He said, because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do nothing. I had to he said, but after that, he said, all my life, I've only ever had 2 days off of work. He was a potato farmer, right? I said, wow, when was that? He said, when we had the Asian flu, which is the 60s or 70s. He said he was off for 2 days with the Asian flu. He said it was particularly tasty. But he's got this real decent immunity. Now, they grow food, they eat well, they live well, they swim, they do all sorts. They're lovely, lovely people. But he made the connection to how he's lived his life and how he's been so strong throughout his life because of what happened to him at 4. His body went into like this super boosting situation. And he's got an immune system, I tell you. So when we're kids, we shouldn't have all these antibiotics. We should let things run out and keep an eye on things. And then because what happens is whatever you get, and this is a proven fact, your blood will get to a certain temperature that no living virus or bacteria can survive, and it kills it, and it don't kill you most of the time. Sometimes people do pass away from viruses, etc. That's just life, I'm afraid. No one's got a God-given gift to be here. No one has a divine right to be here. None of us. But the point is this: your body gets to when you're getting fevers and stuff, your blood's getting to a temperature where it can sustain you, but it kills everything else that's dirty in your blood. It kills it. And then when it kills it, you come back down to normal. So we don't need to keep suppressing all these things that we're doing in the children, because we're setting them up to fail later on in life. I sure to God we are. So immune system is where you want to be. You want to be having all your vitamins, your minerals. You've got to be eating good. You've got to be drinking plenty. You've got to be having good stuff. If you're wearing a mask and you're eating chips, pizzas, Coca-Cola, all that stuff, you're wasting your time. If you're smoking and you're wearing your mask, you're wasting your time, because you don't care about yourself in any case. You don't care about your lungs. Can't do. You're harming them. But that's just the truth of the matter. And sometimes we need a little bit of sharp shock treatment. My neighbour over the road, bless her, years ago, she went to the doctors when she was living in London. She got a little cough. Everyone in the city of London, that's a great thing, by the way. I don't know if you can get it online. It's called The Spectator, End of Lockdown Now, by Dr. John Lee, former consultant pathologist for the NHS Trust in Hull. She went to the doctors years ago, got a little cough. And the doctor sat there as cool as a cucumber, right? And he says, "You all right?" She says, "Yeah." He says, "What are you here for?" She said, "I've got a cough." He says, "Do you smoke?" She said, "Yeah, I do." Everyone was proud to smoke back then. You always had a packet of fags in your pocket. It was always the way. She said, "Yeah, I do." And he looked at her right in the eyes and he said, "People like you make me sick." She went, "Excuse me, what?" Before this PC brigade come along. Offensive. Before that. She said, "What?" He said, "You come to me for help and you can't even help yourself." She went, "Whoa." She come out of that thing. She ripped up her fag paper. She threw it in the bin. She never smoked after that. All them years ago. His harsh, short, sharp shock treatment and getting her brain to engage with reality, and boom, when someone gives it short, sharp shock, it triggers your brain. It triggers you. It makes you stop and think, because that's what the word arrest means. It means to stop. When a cop says, "I'm going to arrest you," what he's saying is, "I'm going to stop you." It's not a big bad thing, this arrest, because they arrest you now, then they de-arrest you, then they arrest you again, and it all gets a bit medieval. They love a dust up as well. They love the violence nowadays. Cancer loves sugar. Candida, sugar, absolutely right, Ian. But the NHS don't know that. That's why they give you sugar jabs. That's a fact. I've witnessed it. Can't make it up, can you? The hospitals are not busy, by the way. The Nightingale hospitals, they're decommissioning them. They're stripping them all out. They did convert the Excel Centre in London. I think this was the one that I see the other day. Let's put this back up there. The Excel Centre in London the other day that they'd converted into Christ knows how many thousand beds. I think one side of the Excel, because if you walk into the Excel, you've got left and right, and they can move these walls. It's a massive, 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 like a hangar, really, with all bits and bobs in there. But whether it was the whole thing or just part of it, but they converted into a thing called a Nightingale Hospital, right, on the Isle of Dogs. And I think they said they had 20 people in there at max. So they've decommissioned it. They took it all apart. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. It's unbelievable. Placebo tablets for pain and sleep. Dr. Dawson, get away from the water. Mega Home Distillers. Yeah, absolutely right. Helena Jones. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? You all right? Have you messaged me on Facebook? I think you might have messaged me. Let me just have a quick look while I'm chatting to you. Helen Jones. Yeah. Hi, Dave. Will you be able to send me the documents for taking my daughter and myself off the birth certificate, please, if you can? My email is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Yes. No. See, look. Technology. It's a fantastic thing. How we're all communicating now. And we're shining a light on what goes on, and the system knows that the internet's really not its friend, because for bad things to happen, they have to operate in darkness, and they have to operate in an arena that you just don't understand. So when you don't know how the courts operate, or you don't know how the police operates, they're gonna rub you up and put you in the machine and spit you out sideways, because they enjoy it. You're their feed, you're their fodder. But actually, when you understand the game and you've known how to deal with it, and you're not prepared to be violated anymore, it's not as scary as it seems. It's really not. And why have we embroiled ourselves into this system of slavery and ownership? I mean, this unlawful conversion. See, they unlawfully converted us at birth and claimed ownership, because the birth certificate is a paper. It's a slave paper, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. It's nothing more than a slave document. It's like brandishing you. All you lovely ladies, bend over, show us your arse cheeks, and we're going to stick them birth certificate barcodes on your asses. Now, I'd like to see some pictures like that, because that kind of stuff makes my day. A bit Clint Eastwoody, because girls are quite, girls are cute, and they, let's be honest. What a fairer sex, as we call them. Claire Johnson, evening. Ellen Jones, I will send you some stuff, Helen. I'll send it to you probably tomorrow, because what we're coming up to 9:30 now. Ignorance and stupidity and arrogance and greed equals evil. Mate, that's all we have now. This guy, auditing Britain. He's got no, not auditing Britain. He's a Bristolian chap. He's been down to his local cop shop because one of them done something to him the other day, and he weren't happy. He wanted to go down and identify this copper's car. And he got grilled while he was in the car parks. And he goes, yeah, you lot stick together, don't you see? He says, none of you lot. He said, you're all part of the Blue Klux Klan. You all stick together, innit? For your own ends. And this woman couple was like, this one ain't mucking around. Tyrant finder. Yeah, exactly, Jesus Jones. Thank you, Dave. That's all right, Dom. AB. Yeah, AB, he's class. He did one, some coppers searched him the other day, and he did belittle the copper because they're abusing their powers. Filming in public and just leaving if you're asked to leave, a private thing, that's a different story. And trespass is a civil matter, it's not criminal. So the police to stop him and search him, it's disgusting. That's just an abuse of power. It's just an abuse. It's like hand a hock. We're the Germans, we have all the weapons, and we're going to shoot you. So we trusted these people years ago to do balance. And the balance was, we all agreed to stop killing each other and taking spoils with one another, because if someone nicks someone's awesome car or their tin bath or whatever, we always used to take it out of each other. People were going for jewels and all sorts. There was sword fighting. That's not like a euphemism for that with two guys. Anyway, so crossing swords and all that, I know I've been around the block years. Not like that. Anyway, so we come up with this sort of public servitude thing, and we said, well, look, you do our bidding. We'll agree to let you make decisions on our behalf. Wow, they fucking run amok with that, and they fucking run amok with that. Now it's just for us. Sorry, public servitude means you're serving. It don't mean to say you're bossing. It don't mean to say that you've become the master race. We don't tolerate that in England, and we can't fall, and we're not going to fall. We're going to stand up. And we're going to say no more. So we place trust in these people, and they've abused that trust. Massively, massively abused that trust. We've now got judges that think they're gods, that have a divine right of rule, and that they're going to meek out God's wrath on you. They're more than insane, Jesus Jones. They're criminally insane. Now, what you should have as in a system is something that enhances your life, that doesn't harm you, that is for your benefit, because they say, oh, you're entitled to your benefits. Well, if the system is supposed to be beneficial to us, then it's not supposed to harm us, right? Not supposed to harm us. But yet the judges and the stuff that goes on in the police corruption, the police abuse, and the abuse by court staff, bashing people up. It's disgusting. Moto Proprio, I have had an officer says he knows no one who has done as much as me. I was well shot by that one, lol. Well done, Lauren. Hope you're all right, brother. Hope you're feeling okay. Moto Proprio, if people don't know, back in 2013, Pontiff Francis decided that this system of and what you've got to understand is that your system of law is Roman. It's like my nose, it's Roman around my face. I need a haircut, by the way, and haircut is coming this week. I've got some rescuing happening. But the system we live in, the maritime jurisdiction, all this stuff is Roman. It's Roman Curiate. But the Pope called time on it all in 2013 and said, I'm washing my hands of it. If you carry on in the Holy See of Commerce, you don't have my blessing anymore. And if anybody that works in the Holy See of Commerce, which is the prison officers, all these bailiffs, anyone that's working for one of these crown corporations, and bearing in mind you're the crown, I always wonder what the crown was growing up. I always wonder what it was when they say the crown versus this. And I just think, what is the crown? Well, the crown's Christ. Okay. So once you come back into Christ, then you're the crown. And I don't say that lightly. I genuinely mean that. And it's all about crucifixion and resurrection. And I'll get into that on another show. So the Roman Pontiff, Francis, Pope Francis, well, no meo medio domino pedophilia. You know what they get up to. Apparently all the gold's been taken from them as well. Apparently Trump's taken control of that. How true that is, I don't know. Apparently he's robbed all the royals' gold as well. Trump apparently has been repatriating gold via the military. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But the Pope Francis knew that it all got out of control. So he said that if anyone in that world harms a soul, a man or a woman, then he's give you the blessing to openly prosecute them. And Moto Proprio does stop these people from violating men and women. But to these people, the police and that, it is definitely 100% ownership. They treat and look at us as though they own us. Why are you filming a police station? Well, why the fuck not? Well, I need your details. Well, why? I've got a camera in my hand. I ain't got a fucking AK-47. Yeah, but I'm going to have to take you in. I need to find out who you are. Well, what, you claiming slavery on this one? You claiming that you own me? Where the fuck's your head at? Can't own a man or a woman. No man can own another. No man can own another. Never. Or woman. True 650 plane loads from the Vatican to Fort Knox. So we're waiting and seeing. FEMA is a control. He's not got it back yet. So we will wait and see. So anyway, the Pope said, if anyone in public office is fucking with you, you've got my blessing to openly prosecute them now. There's no immunity for these people. Moto Proprio is saying there's no immunity for you because the Pope's he's got too gangster for me. I mean, he's the head of the mafia. For fuck's sake. He's like, I'm out of here. Fort Knox, I'll get you one, bro. What we getting me? I like the sound of that. Jesuit Hun. Alopo Dave. I love that name. It's for everyone's safe. It's all for your safety. Everything. Oh, why have you got your finger up my bum, constable? It's for your own safety. Oh, why are you taking my kids? It's for your own safety. Why have you pulled me over and you taking my car? It's for your own safety. Fucking hell, I'm so lucky. So lucky to live in this system. Beautiful, isn't it? It once was a decent thing. But we need to impress ourselves back on this. We need to resurrect. We need to come back into the world of living. Bob's your uncle research. Charlie the Freak. Charlie, yeah, I watched him last night with Sasha Stone. Look, people be people, right? Judge lest you be judged. I'm just here to bring some light-hearted entertainment to the world and hopefully grow this channel. My Facebook thing was a slow grower, but then after a few years we got to 16,000 people, and then Facebook decided to not knock me out. They didn't like we was getting too much of a message out there, and we was getting a lot of people tuning into the live stream feeds, and it was just too much. So I'd rather this grow slowly. I'd rather you talk to your friends and family and tell them what's going on. Jamie Bennett, my good friend Jamie Bennett, I remember tuning into him around about 4 months ago when he was on a live stream, and I think he had just over 1,000 people watching him at once, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. From a live stream point of view, talking about this and that and cancel tax and cancels and all that, for him to have over 1,000 people tuning into him right there and then, listening and hanging on his every word, was like mind blowing for me. He's been very, very good at getting the message out there. He really has. Councils can demolish your homes now. Fake virus caused. Oh, so they're going to come and knock your house down? Wow. But we really do have crackpots in positions where they ought not to be. They need locking up in mental institutions, most of these people. It was great seeing all the people at the beach in England this weekend. Not sure what beach it was. It was Greatstone. My friend's not far from Greatstone. I was down there the other week, not the beach. I was in a little place called St Mary's on the Marsh, and it's not far from Greatstone. Greatstone's down on the Marsh, Romney Marsh way. So if you ever want to come down the M20, go towards Ashford, come off at junction 11, and then you swing, go down past Ashford Market, and then there's a left-hand turn, takes you down a massive bypass. Greatstone's on the Marsh, or was it Bournemouth? Someone said it was Greatstone. Conor Mack, Dari Kenneth, I bet. I've heard of him. I don't know who that is. Yes, Lauren, it's coming to move us out. So if they can come round and smash your house down because of a virus, that's lunacy. That's just a lunacy. That's lunatics running the asylum. I think that's what's happened. I think we've allowed lunatics running the asylum. They're not normal people. They've got this air about them, that they're gods, and they're not. They're swines. And I don't know what god they're working for, but tell me I ain't a decent one. Not for sure. I hope that's not true. Big bulldozer. You have a little sneeze up and you've got a bulldozer coming in through your front window. Sounds about right. Alopo Dave, Irish wisdom preserved in Bible and pyramids. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't. We love the Irish. I love Ireland. I've been there a couple of times. Beautiful place. Lovely golf courses. Killarney. Oh, yes. And Guinness. What? Cool. That black syrup, let me tell you. They know how to pour it out there. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So, Lebanon, they've shut down. Their government's walked out. You're going to see a lot of stuff coming, peeps, because they're burning their buildings right now. All these big fires and buildings going up you're seeing all around the world. Why? Because they've got bust, they've been shut down, and they're trying to claim on the insurance companies, right? So if you know any one of these insurance companies, it's a swindle. They're being done on purpose. Don't pay out. Don't pay out. Sue Baker, hello, darling. Nice to see you. Evening, Dave and everybody. You all right, Treacle? York Aka, I can't say that. That's is that Celtic dialect, isn't it? To be sure, be wise. Yes, exactly. They can take all of your possessions, your children, to foster care until families prove negative. Your house can be burnt or demolished, or everything inside it disinfected. Fucking get me out of here. It's gone mad, isn't it? The country's gone mad. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone come in here and debate me. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. Funboy free. Beirut was to bury the tunnels they were used for traffic. I agree. I think there's something very sinister gone on in Beirut. Trust me. Only 22 deaths from so-called pandemic over the last 24 hours. I wonder how many deaths from road accidents in the same 24 hours. Exactly. We know that doctors and the NHS, it's about time they all started whistleblowing, right? Because we know that they are fudging the death certificates. Now, that's a crime. It's not a crime, actually, because it's a fraudulent system. So This is something that we're trying to end in any case. So maybe they're trying to bring about their own ending. I don't know, because we certainly are shining the light on their system, let me tell you. We have to stop the coronavirus bill. I don't think you can unless I just think it's gone too far. I think the system's pushing now for total control over everybody. And if you bow in one instance, you're going to fail. You have to stand tall, people. You have to fight this. You really do have to stand up against this, because this is fucking crazy town. Dante's Inferno to 1984 is their BS New World Order. The New World Order is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's here. It's here. How do you stop these bills unless we all come together? You can't. You can't stop them. There probably will come a time in history, when it will be in the future, I don't know, that if the people are actually brave enough and they can see that their spirit of their country is being smashed, then I'm afraid they're going to have to go and insist that their current status quo of corporate governance stands down. It's the only way out of this. It's the only way out. Big fire in Brighton Saturday. So was it a massive big building of some sort? You know, to me, the system is coming to a crash. We started seeing about 4 years ago big corporations start going to the walls, like Toys R Us and all that. And I spoke to my mate at the time, Andy, and he's a big biblical man, and we were talking about Revelation and stuff. He said, it's happening. He said, we're in the revelatory time. So all these massive big corporations are standing down. And now you do have the power. Now, a friend of mine who lives around the corner, he won't wear a mask, and he's had a couple of blithering idiots telling him he's got to wear a mask, and then he points out no one tells him what to do, and then it all goes quiet. But he went into the off license to get himself a nice fine bottle of wine. He likes his fineries in life, which is a lovely thing, and why not? And the woman behind the counter said, "Where's your mask?" And he said, "Would you prefer me to shop elsewhere?" Soon took his money. You got the power, peeps. Honestly, you don't realise how powerful. That's my knee, by the way. You don't realise how powerful you are and what power you possess. You really do. You need to get your head down, mate. You've been crafty today. This heat, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. My missus went away yesterday. She went to see her son, and it's her dad's birthday today, so she's doing a bit of travelling around the country. She'll be back Wednesday evening. But my little dog, about 3 o'clock in the morning last night, she's ran licking my arm, and I think I had to let her out for a wee. But I think she was like, "Where is she? Where's she gone? Where's she?" So hopefully she's settled down tonight. So at 3 in the morning, I'm walking naked down through my house, opened up the back door. I live out in the country, it's all right. I was just stood there in the stars, all naked, thinking, happy days. I'm living the dream. And the dog just tootled off and had a pee and come back in. It was quite, to be honest with you, if I'd have had something comfort allowed, I would have laid out there all night, just start naked, sleeping under the stars. I would have done. I will not play charades with these fools. No, Alopo Dave, and I don't blame you. Glad you said arm. No, it's not. It's my leg, this one. It's my leg. It's my leg, my kneecap. Sainted Anon. I have a skull mask. I look lovely. How are you, Lauren? You all right, mate? Sorry to hear about Poochie. Sad, isn't it? So sad. See, when I see things die now, I say hallelujah, man. They got out of this shit. And they're free. We're the ones stuck in this fucking abyss. But we're going to make it better. We are going to make it better because we know how the system operates. We know how the police operate. We know that they're just out mugging us off. Charlie Veitch was in Manchester. He's just done a podcast on this company, right, that go out enforcing fines for littering, like dropping cigarette ends. Now, look, here's the thing. We employ people called public servants, and I'm not being rude. I'm not being derogatory. If that's what you chose to do, if you chose to serve, it's like when I go to work, when I fit boilers or bathrooms or whatever it is I'm doing, whoever is employing me is boss while I'm there. I have to be respectful of their stuff. I can't shit on their carpet. I can't burn their house down. If I take the piss, they'll let me know. It's the same with our public servants. So if they chose to serve, it's no different from what I do for a living. They're choosing to go and become part of the service industry. So councils get paid to clean the streets, or am I wrong? So why, oh why, do we have private corporations out fining people when councils get paid to maintain the streets anyway? And by having a road sweeper out cleaning the streets, I'm not saying litter. Litter's not a good thing. But if you drop something by accident, you will employ. You're giving someone a job. That's a job for a road sweeper, someone that wants to sweep the roads for a living, right? And I'm not being rude. We all play our part in this existence. We all somehow seem to slot into our roles, whether we're crucifying chickens for the food industry, whether we're fitting boilers, whether we're cutting hair. We all try and play our part for this thing, right? So councils get paid to clean the streets. Councils, everything that the council has is in trust. The council cannot own property. They cannot own buildings because it's all in trust. You own it all, right? So why are we allowing these people to fine us when they get paid to clean the streets anyway? It's a crime. And Charlie Veitch has done a fantastic documentary on it, I have to say. And he's highlighted the company involved, and he's highlighted the directors, the man and woman that profit from this misery. Councils get paid to clean the fucking streets. The police get paid to deal in criminality. And they do. They get paid handsomely for dealing in criminality. If the police's job was to prevent crime, they wouldn't make a penny. Now, the police, in my view, shouldn't be able to handle money. The police should get wages paid by the council. Their employees should this is how I would have it, right? So if a council is collecting whatever, and council should only be collecting off of businesses, off commercial businesses, should never be coming into our private homes, never. But they commercialised on us. They turned us into commercial objects, which is a crime. But I would say, council, if the police need £2 million a year, which is just picking a figure out of sky, to put their cars on the road, the police are not MOT, taxed and insured. They don't have, you can check any of their cars out, no tax, insurance, MOT, nothing. They don't have none of that stuff because they're the ones with the guns, right? Which makes them bullies. But I would make sure that them constables were paid and they had good livings. But I wouldn't let them be able to issue fines. There would be no more coppers in this country issuing fines. They would be dealing with crime, as in murders, rapes, pillaging, child abuse. That's it. They wouldn't be involved in, you've just done 36 and a 30. That nonsense would go, because that's a decaying country. That's a depressive country. That is you're living under like a Fourth Reich. Yeah, we're going to fine you. We're going to fine you. We're going to take your kids. We're going to take your kids. We've had people that won't pay fines, and the police have said, you ain't paying our fine. We're going to ring social services. They're going to come and take your kids. Do you understand what country you're living in when that's going on? That's disgraceful. So I'll leave it to you to figure out the nuts and the bolts, but I would pay constables 50 grand a year, and they wouldn't be harming no one. They would be putting their life down on the line for you because they chose to serve and protect. None of this, we're going to fine, you're going to fine, you're going to fine. You've been to work today, Nate. No, you've been doing bits at home, Trev. Got a bit of work to do tomorrow. And then later on in the week. But it's just so hot, darling, isn't it? It's just so hot. I was having a problem with them, taking them to court for misconduct. They moved in next door, made up crap, shot my dog. Dancing with the devil, we call that, Auntie Mandy. What, the police shot your dog? Do you know what not sickens me, but it baffles me? We have people in this country that would defend the police's actions vehemently. But yet they know that 2,000 people have died in police custody since the late 90s. We know that they've been shooting dogs and killing animals. Can't wait for them to just come out and start killing us. And there's people that are just comfortable with it. They seem to think it's okay to live like that. That bothers me in huge ways. It just really, really bothers me that people are comfortable with that level of fuckery. I'm not. I can't live in a country where the system thinks it owns us, the people. We own them. Because we're the crown, remember? The people are the crown. Hello, all. What can we do to stop this madness? Need to do more than post on my Facebook. I feel hopeless. Apathy isn't an option anymore. Carol White, mate. I make you right. Make you right. Communism is come. Definitely communism. Yeah, a DC moved in next door. Said my 64-kilo American bulldog got through a 2-inch hole and almost got his son all made up. Didn't even show in court. Moved out the day I was in court. God dear. You shot your dog dead. What a wicked bastard. I'll prove my point. If you want to live in a country run by these people, getting away with the crimes that they're getting away with, the untouchables, you crack on. Enjoy. Enjoy what you're going to inherit. I don't like living like that. I want nice people doing nice things to keep us safe. I don't want them doing nasty shit things like that, man. Right, people, it is 9:45. I'm going to go and get myself a shower and hit the sack. Been a busy day, been very warm. I hope you're enjoying the weather. I hope you're enjoying the shows. I hope you're enjoying the Facebook live feeds. I hope you enjoy the studio. I hope you enjoy the interaction and the videos that we share and the content that we share. I'll do it in a very vain attempt that we might wake a few people up and bring a big difference into this country. And if we can do that as a collective, we need to do that together. I'm sorry to hear about your dog, darling. That's unbelievable. They tried it on me for going. I did not consent in custody, sent social service, but we didn't let them in. And they called bluff. You know your rights. So you've got to know your rights. Pissing rain in Dublin all day. Oh, no. It's too hot here, mate. I'm telling you, I'll gladly swap with you in a minute for a bit of rain, although it does look a bit cloudy out there. Anyway, I'm off. I will see you all very, very soon. Helen Jones, I'll just drop me a quick message tomorrow. I'll send you the bits and bobs that you need. All right. Be thankful that you're not in Chicago right now. What's happening in Chicago, Cody? Night, Dave, and everyone. Great live. Take care. Claire Johnson's. Thank you very much for tuning in. All July, geoengineering. Yeah. You're a great soul, Dave, brother. God. Thanks, Sue. You're not so bad yourself, mate. Take care, people. I will see you all probably tomorrow. It'll be Tuesday tomorrow. And, yeah, enjoy yourself. May the good Lord keep you safe. I'll see you soon.